large number of the black players and former black players have decided, hey, we're going to hate on Caitlin Clark and we're going to talk about Caitlin Clark constantly to elevate ourselves. There's a method to this madness. Here's Monica McNutt, ESPN broadcaster, covers the WNBA. Not a bad broadcaster, but she just can't help herself trigger her fans so that they'll keep coming to games and rooting for her, and it's going to elevate the entire league. I'm honestly starting to think there's a strategy to this madness.
Monica McNutt called Caitlin Clark just a white girl from the middle of America on national TV, and Jason Whitlock went absolutely nuclear.
When given a chance to talk about Caitlin Clark, they're always going to racialize it and try to demonize Caitlin Clark's fan base.
So covering the WNBA this past season, Caitlin Clark's rookie year, for all of the conversation that surrounded her, some which was fair and some which wasn't, the one thing that I cannot deny is the amount of little girls that were showing up to follow her.
Make it long-term commercially viable.
Two things. I think it has to show up in our storytelling and it has to be encouraged by our families.
Yeah.
To me, right? And
this wasn't just a little disagreement. Whitlock tore apart McNutt's entire argument and exposed what he calls a calculated attempt to undermine the greatest thing happening in women's basketball right now. You know what's crazy? Instead of celebrating Clark's Steph Curry-like range and Magic Johnson passing that's revolutionizing the women's game, McNutt reduced her success to her race. Whitlock didn't hold back, saying this race baiting is hurting not just Clark, but the entire WNBA when it should be enjoying its biggest breakthrough moment ever.
But I think Caitlin represented, and again, some of this to me probably is not fair to her because it was not anything that she said or was truly based on her personality, but little girls with their parents and the fervor and the energy there.
Why her?
Same thing.
Why her?
Well, I was just about to say same thing for Angel Reese when I had a chance to cover their games. She was a white girl from the middle of America. And so she represented a whole lot to a lot of people, whether that is truly what she prescribed to or not. We can all say she is a dynamic basketball player and a force both on the court and the marketing sense.
The full breakdown of this heated clash will shock you. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Let's get right into the drama that exploded when Monica McNutt made her controversial comments about Caitlin Clark. McNutt had this golden opportunity to talk about Clark's unbelievable talent on national television. I mean, we're talking about a rookie who's completely changing the game.
But I do think, same thing with folks that may have fallen in love with Angel Reese that may or may not have agreed with everything they had to say either. We attach our fandom to these icons for all types of reasons, and sometimes they may not be based in all truth.
But instead, she decided to make it about race. She basically suggested that Clark's popularity was more about her being a blonde girl from Iowa than her actual basketball skills. Can you believe that? This comment set the basketball world on fire instantly. When Jason Whitlock heard McNutt's take, he didn't hold back for a second. He came out swinging, calling her out for what he saw as pure race baiting. Whitlock was furious that McNutt completely ignored Clark's Steph Curry-like shooting range and her Magic Johnson-level passing abilities. Instead of talking about the basketball genius we're all watching, McNutt made it about skin color and geography. Whitlock straight up accused her of trying to create division among fans at a time when basketball should be bringing people together. You know what's crazy? Whitlock didn't just criticize McNutt, he systematically took apart her entire argument. He pointed out that McNutt had this perfect chance to highlight how Clark is revolutionizing women's basketball with her historic scoring ability and court awareness. But instead, she chose to focus on Clark being white and from Iowa. Whitlock called this a calculated effort to diminish Clark's impact and achievements, making her popularity seem like it was just about her race rather than her incredible talent. Whitlock's criticism went even deeper. He suggested that this wasn't just McNutt making an isolated comment. He believes networks like ESPN are deliberately stoking racial tensions instead of celebrating basketball excellence. Think about it. Why would someone look at a player who's breaking records left and right and decide to focus on her race instead of her game-changing skills? Whitlock argues this is part of a pattern where identity politics gets injected into sports commentary, and he's not having any of it. The tension between these two perspectives couldn't be more explosive. On one side, you have McNutt implying Clark's massive popularity has more to do with demographic factors than basketball brilliance. On the other, you have Whitlock arguing that this framing is reductive, divisive, and ultimately harmful to the sport itself. He's suggesting there's something calculated going on, that certain commentators are deliberately undermining Clark's achievements by making everything about race. But here's where Whitlock's criticism gets really interesting. He claims this approach of viewing everything through a racial lens is actively threatening the WNBA's growth at the exact moment when the league is finally breaking through to mainstream audiences. Just when women's basketball is achieving the recognition it deserves, Whitlock argues that commentators like McNutt are risking alienating new fans by shifting focus from the excitement of the game to identity politics. Imagine this: the WNBA is experiencing unprecedented viewership and attention. Clark is bringing in millions of new fans who are discovering the incredible talent in the league. And right at this crucial moment, instead of capitalizing on this basketball renaissance by highlighting the amazing skills on display, some commentators choose to create controversy around race. Whitlock suggests this approach could seriously hinder the league's long-term success by making everything about identity rather than the game itself. Whitlock's most explosive claim? That this race-focused commentary is part of a broader culture within sports media that's more interested in creating division than celebrating athletic excellence. He believes McNutt and others like her are deliberately downplaying Clark's basketball genius to fit a particular narrative, and in doing so, they're actually working against the very growth and success the WNBA is trying to achieve. The core of Whitlock's argument is pretty straightforward. When every accomplishment gets viewed through a racial lens, the pure excitement and appeal of the game gets diminished. Basketball should unite fans around a shared love of the sport, not divide them based on the identity of its players. By focusing so heavily on race, Whitlock argues that commentators like McNutt are missing what actually matters: the incredible basketball being played. When you really break it down, Jason Whitlock's most powerful argument is about the game itself. Clark isn't changing the WNBA because of who she is, it's how she plays. Her shooting range forces defenders to guard her from midcourt and those no-look passes. Pure basketball IQ on display. She's bringing that Steph Curry-like revolution to women's basketball, transforming the game's very foundation. The lesson here is crystal clear. Focusing on skills instead of identity politics is what will take the WNBA to unprecedented heights. So what's your take? Did McNutt miss the mark by emphasizing race, or is Whitlock going too hard on her? Drop your thoughts below.